What's going on, everybody? I'm Jake, aka Bomber, and I think we need a moment of silence for the 9 WWE wrestlers that were let go today. All right, that's enough of that. But for real, it's never fun. It's never a joke whenever somebody, even though I just made one, it's never a joke whenever people get released, especially when they really did nothing wrong. Being fired sucks, and there's a lot that goes into what happened on the April 15th, which I heard that there's rumors that there could be more on the 16th, which is when this video is coming out. So yeah, it's not pretty. It's not pretty. But let's go over the names real quick. We got 9 superstars. Like I said, Samoa Joe being if this is a Hall of Fame, Samoa Joe is the headliner. We got Samoa Joe. We got Billy Kay, Peyton Royce, Mickie James. Those of you that do know me know that Mickie James is my all-time favorite WWE, I would say diva because it was back in the diva days, but favorite WWE women's wrestler. We got Chelsea Green, Tucker, not cool, man. Kalisto, Bo Dallas, and Wesley Blake. So in this headline here, it says, according to Fightful's Sean Sapp, from this tweet right here, it says, I'm told John Laurinaitis has been making the calls to talent, citing budget cuts as the reason for the WWE releases. Man, I'm going to say so many things in this video that is probably going to make so many people, probably going to make everybody mad, because there are ways to look at this from several different angles. And as I do, I'm going to approach all those angles. And right here, one of our buddies here in Jobber Radio, TB666 was his prediction league name. Thomas here says, oh, and I'm sure they will announce shortly that they have a record profit as well. You know what? I don't know if they'll go that far, but I have no doubts that WWE is set to make a lot of money this year, and they're not going to be in the negative. So, but okay, let's cut the crap. Already on the alumni page, Samoa Joe is sitting in here right between Sabu and Santino Marella. What a trio these three would be, huh? And look, there's our buddy Rusev. Of course, we got Wesley Blake, and yes, we got Tucky. Oh man, you talk about short end of the stick. The whole heavy machinery deal with Otis going on to do stuff when Money in the Bank, man, poor Tucker. So let's look at it from the aspect of the wrestlers. Of course, it sucks. It's absolutely terrible that these people are losing fairly high paying jobs, some more than others, of course. I can't imagine that, you know, Wesley Blake's anywhere near what Samoa Joe was making, but it is what it is. That's what happens when you got a hierarchy with a card and everything. But it's horrible when people lose their jobs. It sucks. It's not something to joke about. It's not something to go on Twitter and rant, good, they're worthless. Because I've seen people take the approach, and you got the people that always are going to back WWE no matter what, and they're going to be dicks about it. And if you're watching this and you're one of those people, man, you need to just be better. You do. These people really lost their livelihood. Of course, I believe most of them, if not all, will be absolutely perfectly fine. They will find other jobs. They will be able to, you know, make other careers and, you know, hopefully pursue that dream of being a top champion one day. But right now, they lost a high-paying job, and it's probably one of the worst days of their life, because for a lot of these guys and girls, it is their WWE is usually the dream job. Imagine whatever job out there that you always wanted. If you wanted to be a wrestler, if you wanted to be a WWE superstar or AEW or New Japan or wherever you want to be a star, imagine you get that job, you get it, you hold it on for, you know, maybe a couple years, maybe longer, maybe even shorter, and it just gets taken away from you because, honestly, you didn't do anything wrong except you didn't really get higher up on the card. You didn't make more of a name for yourself. But either way, whether or not it's the person's fault or not, you lost your dream job. And there's no way around that besides feeling sympathy for that person, whoever they are. And if you don't, and if it's because of, oh, there's WWE's the best, oh my God, that's not cool. That is not cool. At the same time, oh, this is where it gets bad. This is where it gets bad. And I know I can start feeling you guys get the anger boiling. A lot of these talents, a lot of these superstars simply weren't being used. Now, I know some people that, you know, because I just talked about the people that love WWE and will always back WWE. There's on the opposite side, the people that always, no matter what, no matter how good or bad WWE does, people always hate the decisions. WWE is the worst company in the world somehow. Vince McMahon is the worst person, the most evil person in the world somehow. You have those people as well. And you guess what? Some of these people were not used. Some of these people, it could be their fault as far as, not saying they should have been fired, but I'm saying that they didn't quite have the it factor. They didn't quite have the talent to get themselves over charismatically, or in some cases in the ring. Look, a lot of these guys like Mojo Rawley were just not being used, and they were being paid all this money to just not enhance the WWE product. And I know some people are like, it's a pandemic. WWE's making all this money. They just made a deal with Peacock and got all this money. I hate to be that guy, but none of that matters. And I already know you're going to get mad when I say that. I already know you're like, what do you mean it doesn't matter? They're making all this money. They can afford Mojo Rawley and stuff like that. But guys, if you are running a business, if I was running a business and I had a handful of these people that I were not using, I had no more, I feel like I've used them to their fullest potential, and I'm done with those people. It's time to let them go. And we've seen so many times where people, especially younger ones, will leave, like Drew McIntyre. It just didn't work out and they got let go. They went, and as everybody in the world will say, you know, they learned a new hold. I believe, I don't know what other podcaster says that, JR or somebody, but whatever, they go do that and they come back and they're a bigger, better superstar than they were in the first place. So that could always happen for any of these people. Maybe not, you know, the older ones like Samoa Joe, but it can happen to any of these people. So you need to pump the brakes. And when looking at when you're looking at the Twitter here, you got so many of these guys so thankful. They're so happy that they got this opportunity. They're not completely sour grapes. Now, sure, some of them, like I believe Tucker is going to do this tell all that, and who knows what he's going to say, because I believe out of all these people, Tucker's probably the one that's going to be the most ticked off. But back to the, if this is your company type deal. Look, if I was running a company, and like I said, all those people I were not using, it makes sense to let them go. Whether or not you're making billions upon millions and whatever it is in profit, if you still have people that you're not using, they serve no purpose. And I'm not saying this in any way disrespecting any of these people. I'm saying this as strictly a person that would be running a business. It is a business move. I'm sure all of these people are absolutely fantastic as far as personally. I'm sure they have great connections and great relationships with so many people in the company. I'm pretty sure this is a straight business move. And by the way, guys, this happens every year on top of everything. This weird outrage that comes out every time that people get released. This has been happening for a very long time. And yes, this time it did happen to be on the same day as last year, which more people got mad because it was a pandemic than usual. I think WWE should just periodically release people so it doesn't make a big stink and a big deal. And look, WWE is never going to make anybody happy. I should say, going to make everybody happy. Of course, they're going to make people happy, but they're not ever going to make everyone happy. If I see people out there saying WWE needs to, you know, they don't need to have this giant roster. They need to have a smaller roster. That way they don't have to fire these people. Well, guess what? If you're one of those people, they're letting people go right now and you're still going to be mad. Like, do you see what I'm saying? Like, there's no winning if you're the WWE in this situation. It always sucks. Do you think they like letting people go? I'm sure there's some of you out there that probably do say that, but that's just being like crazy to me. It doesn't make sense. It's not realistic. Nobody is really like that. And I know you have this weird, he's right here. Vince McMahon is being irrelevant people right here. He is being shown on my screen. People hate this man so much. If you're going to be a CEO or a owner of a giant company, every once in a while, you're going to make questionable decisions, but letting people go, that happens in every single company. And my company right now, I work for Fox. If you're new to this, I work for Fox, and I would understand completely if I who work for Fox am sent home or am not being used or anything that's going on, not necessarily with the pandemic, but if I'm not being used, I would almost I mean, maybe that's just me, but I would almost expect to be let go at some point, right? I mean, to me, that's common sense. And I know these people are probably working hard. I know that I'm not saying they're not, but to me, it's common sense when you're not using people and people aren't, on your TV every day and you're paying them hundreds of thousands of dollars for some of these guys. If not, I have no idea how much Samoa Joe is making. Who knows? He could have been making more. He could have been in the millions. I'm not saying he was. Who knows? I don't know. I don't look at contracts. But anyway, I'm just saying, if you're paying these people to not be a primary focus on your product, to me, it's just common sense to let them go. You have the argument where the writers are the problem because they can't figure out what to do with Tucker. Please right now, tell me what, in the comments right now, please tell me what you would like to do with Tucker. I think that maybe a little feud with Otis would have been good, but Tucker, I love Tucky. I do. But even I have a hard time Of course, there is always something you can do, but there are so many other people on the roster that it seems to me like Tucker, he came through, his path is over at this point. He can leave. Like I said earlier, he can leave. He can come back and be a better superstar on the roster. There's nobody saying that he can't, not a single person, but there's a lot of other up and coming people on the roster that can take that spot and can be utilized, while Tucker has been, we saw him at the Battle Royal on SmackDown, the SmackDown WrestleMania. But other than that, Tucker, for example, I'm just using him as an example. I'm not singling him out for any reason, but it's just not being used. Same with right here on Mickie James. Mickie James, there's always injury issues with these people as well. You can't just come at this in a one-way, F the WWE, F Vince McMahon, they're terrible people, they're making all this money on Peacock. None of that matters. I don't think so. Maybe I'm wrong. I do want you to tell me in the comment section, because I'm sure you're gonna tell me I'm wrong. But whatever WWE makes in a profit from a deal they make, if they go to Saudi Arabia or Peacock or whatever they do to make some big deal, if you still have people on the roster over here that aren't doing anything, guys, eliminate it. If it's cutting a budget, it's cutting a budget. The smaller the budget, the more profit you can make, and they are a company. Vince McMahon is a smart businessman, whether you hate him, whether you love him, the guy is a smart businessman, and guess what? It's a business move, man. Going through the comments on any of these WWE announcements, they're just filled with just bad, terrible takes right here. WWE firing talents like Peyton Royce, Billy Kay, Mickie James, SAMOA JOE, blah, 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 everybody else, to be able to pay millionaire contracts to people like Ronda Rousey or Brock Lesnar who appear on TV for 3 to 4 times a year. You are a dear financial genius, WWE. I feel this is exactly the point. Joe and Dallas could have been huge. AEW biting at the heels, broken skulls. Okay, guys, see, these comments are just so... Oh, God, they're so bad. Oh, they're so dumb. I'm sorry. I hate to be that guy. I just, that's my opinion. I think these are dumb comments. Anybody that takes a shot at Ronda and Brock Lesnar, none of that even come close to mattering. Those people draw. You can't compare people who actually, as people that say move the needle, like Brock Lesnar and Ronda Rousey. And if you don't think they do, I'm choking on my own spit. You're completely fooling yourself and lying to yourself. Those people are borderline household names. Borderline. Not saying they are, but they're borderline. Now, when you got Peyton Royce, Billy Kay, guys, when you come down here, Bo Dallas, man, people are mad that Bo Dallas is gone. Bo Dallas hasn't been used on TV in like 3 years. It's probably been less than that. But guys, come on. The B team was the last thing we seen him in. If you want to attack the writers, that is perfectly your own thing. But dude, The Rock had a terrible look, terrible gimmick, terrible everything. And what did he do? He turned it around. People that have the it factor, they can turn it around. And I like all of these people. I don't want to make any of this sound like I hate anybody or dislike anybody here, or I'm crapping on them. Almost said the S word there. Trying to tone down the language in these videos. But, man, Bo Dallas doesn't have the it factor, man. He doesn't. I'm sure he's a cool dude. I'm sure he is. He doesn't have it, man. Anybody out here that's getting mad that Bo Dallas got let go? Oh my God. I'm sorry. Okay, I don't want this video to go on too long about how, you know, I already pretty much gave my thoughts on that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to predict pretty much where these people are going to land and, you know, what their futures can hold, because I'm pretty sure a lot of these people have very, very bright futures. We were just talking about them. Bo Dallas. I mean, man, I'm maybe Impact, but man, I don't want to make it sound like I'm crapping on people, but dude, I'm gonna be honest. I know. I'm here to be honest about these things. I really don't see, you know, anything crazy or miraculous out of Bo Dallas. Do I hope he doesn't do anything? No, of course not. I hope he does go on to, you know, prove what I just said wrong. That would be fantastic. I would love to see it. Shawn Spears, you know, Ty Dillinger, all these people that got let go. They're like, oh, thank God, yes, thank God. I'll go to WWE or AEW, go anywhere. And guys, dude, Shawn Spears. I hate to be that guy, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to crap on people, but dude, Shawn Spears, wow. Yeah, no. I feel like some of these people, like Bo Dallas, are in that same boat. They reached their potential. They ran their course in WWE, and they're gone. If I had to take a guess where Bo Dallas would go, I would guess Impact Wrestling. Chelsea Green, I mean, it makes sense to me that she would probably go, you know, probably with Zach, who's over in Impact right now, or it would make sense for her possibly to go to the AEW, because AEW desperately need women in their division. Their men's division is please God, don't put any more people in the AEW men's division. There's more than enough, but the women need every bit of help they can get. So I see Chelsea Green landing in either AEW, or I think the more likely would be going back to Impact with Zach. And, you know, she did a good job there. She made a name for herself there. That's where I learned who she was. And I liked the whole crazy, you know, the bride, the crazy bride and everything. That was cool. I really liked Chelsea's work there. And I was excited when she came to WWE and NXT, but it just kind of fizzled out. And honestly, when she was out there, I'm just being honest, just giving my honest opinion here, it didn't really seem, you know, eye-catching or important or anything like that. And like I said, it's not anything against her. It's just me giving my honest opinion when I saw her out there. Mickie James, man, I love Mickie James. Not in a creepy way, so don't be like that. Man, Mickie James is awesome. As I said earlier, right on the top of this video, my #1 favorite female wrestler of all time. I would not be surprised if she goes to join her husband Nick in NWA. They need some women over there as well. And I think Mickie would be a great addition to the NWA. I almost said MWA from our TEW series. NWA roster. I think she would be a great addition to that. Billie Kay and Peyton Royce. I'm going to lump them in together because I would love to see them both land in the same company. I just said that AEW needs all the help they can get in the women's division. They usually hire women that, you know, have more of a wrestling base as opposed to charismatic and personality wise. And I think Billie Kay and Peyton Royce would be absolutely fantastic at Impact Wrestling. I think that they would make a good run at the Impact Knockouts Championships, Tag Team Championships, that is. I hope they stay together. I hope they stay a team. Obviously, they can't be the Iconics, but I'm sure they can come up with something really cool and something really fun. I hope they stick together because they seem like they say they're best friends and they just seem really cool. And I just hope they stay together. But if not, I could see Peyton Royce going to AEW to join her husband, Shawn Spears. And if that's the case, I don't really see much for Billie Kay, maybe, because I see her as, you know, just giving my opinion, the weaker link of the two. Not charismatic wise. She is filled with charisma. One of the funniest people on the roster. I love the whole resume storyline that they were doing. And, you know, come think of it, a little more realistic at this point. But hopefully she lands somewhere nice. If it's not Impact, maybe Ring of Honor. I don't know. That doesn't sound right either because that's more wrestling based. Probably Impact. I'm just going to say Billie Kay Impact. Hopefully Peyton Royce sticks with her. And no matter where they go, I hope they're both happy. Dude, Kalisto. We haven't even like really mentioned him. He came back absolutely jacked, in the best shape of his freaking life. The dude looks like $1,000,000. Yeah, you know, the whole Lucha House Party stuff, it fizzled out. It didn't work out. I think they got a pretty good run out of it for what it was. Kalisto's had a really rough time of it, I think, overall in the WWE. I think he's done a pretty good job, though. I would actually like to see, if Kalisto doesn't go back to Japan, I would love to see, if he stays in the United States, where that's what I'm going with here. I would love to see him in Ring of Honor. I think they already have a lot of good luchadors over there. I think he would make an excellent addition to their roster. If not, I could see him, who knows, probably going to AEW, and instantly Tony Khan's going to throw him in with the Triangle Death Party or whatever they are. They have to come up with a different name, maybe the Rectangle, the Rhombus, or whatever it is. Death Triangle, whatever it is. Tony Khan will throw him immediately in a stable. So you got that if he goes over there, which I would rather see him in Ring of Honor. Honestly, I would like to see that. Yeah. So I'm going to guess Ring of Honor for Kalisto if he stays in the United States. When it comes to Tucky, man, you know, he definitely, when you looked at the two, he was definitely, you know, the more of the Marty Jannetty. I hate to say it, but the Marty Jannetty of the team. Otis always just had that more personality that burst out on camera. I think Tucker, I was almost calling him Tucky again, for real. Tucker, I think would do a fantastic job in NWA. I would love to see him there. I think that he could, I would like to see a real singles run out of Tucker. I don't know if he's, you know, a primarily singles guy. I've never really seen him until he came to WWE. So who knows? But I think NWA would be a pretty good spot for Tucker. You know, I find it funny, out of, you know, the Forgotten Sons, Wesley Blake here. How is Jason Riker the one that is still employed? He's the only one left, and he's the crazy, you know, the social media, you know, outbursts and all the very controversial comments. Very, very surprised that he's the one that they're keeping. But then again, I know some of you guys down below are going to comment about Velveteen Dream. So who knows? But, Wesley Blake, sorry, I'm losing my voice. I've been talking for a long time here. Too long, matter of fact. Let's wrap this up. Wesley Blake, I don't know much about Wesley Blake. He was always a very minor guy. I'm sure he's very talented. If I had to throw it out there, I'd say maybe Impact. I don't know. Maybe Ring of Honor. Who knows? Or NWA. NWA, he seems more like a grizzled guy. He's got the beard. He's got a little muscle tone to him. I could see him succeeding in NWA. So you know what? Going over there with Tucker and Mickie James, I'm going to say Wesley Blake. Last but certainly not least, the headliner so far, again, if there's more names released tomorrow, it happens. But right now, of all the 9 people released, we got the headliner, Samoa Joe. This one caught me a little off guard because I was expecting Samoa Joe to have a pretty, you know, a relatively lengthy run on the commentators table. I didn't think he was bad. I don't think he was as good as Taz was when Taz transitioned from wrestler to commentator, but he's just started out. I have no doubts that Samoa Joe could have done absolutely fine as a commentator, but maybe that's not what he wanted to do. I don't know anything, any inside stuff. I know back in the day, Macho Man didn't want to be on the commentary table. WWE saw him there. Who knows? Maybe that was the deal with Samoa Joe. I don't know. All I know is he did start getting hurt quite often. He's been in the business for a very long time. Yes, he's an absolute fantastic promo. But earlier in this video, I talked about Samoa Joe not really being that guy that I could see on the top of the roster. And it's kind of due to his durability, man. He just seems a little unreliable. And that's not taking anything away from his skill and his talent. The dude's an absolute beast. He is a main eventer. But do you really want to try to put all your eggs in the Samoa Joe basket when you don't know his durability? And I can't think of any good Samoa Joe matches as of late in the WWE. He was absolutely phenomenal, you know, not taking AJ Styles' name away from him, but phenomenal in Impact Wrestling. Since coming to the WWE, yes, he did good stuff in NXT. On the WWE roster, a lot of people didn't like his feud with AJ Styles, but I thought his feud with AJ Styles was the best thing he did. and whether or not you disagree or whatnot, a lot of people say Samoa Joe was never the WWE champion. This is BS. How could WWE have dropped the ball on Samoa Joe? Honestly, I see it. I see them not giving him the title. And that's not saying he's bad, but dude, when would you have done it? Would you have made him beat Roman Reigns at Backlash? No. Would you have made him beat Brock Lesnar? Some of you, a lot of you out there that hate Brock Lesnar. No. When the time came to give him those title matches, should he have beat those guys at that time? No. Sure, you can always just wishfully say he, just should have been the champion. But when you look at his career in the WWE, which wasn't that long, but when you look at it, when should he have won the title during that time frame? And I just don't see it. And I know that's an unpopular opinion, but I'm sorry, that's it. I like Samoa Joe. I've liked his career overall. I wouldn't say I loved his career, but I think that he's had a fantastic career. And where do I see him going? A lot of people are saying New Japan. A lot of people are saying AEW. I think AEW would be, the obvious choice, because AEW is definitely taking on, as of late anyway, a lot of WWE talent just flowing over right now at this point. So that, would make the most sense, and I would have to agree, that's probably what they would do at this point. But I would love to see, this is me just being, fantasy booker here, but I would love to see him go back to, make a trip around the indie circuit. She's a much bigger star for that, but hit up Ring of Honor, come back, make a little run in Ring of Honor, make a lot of noise there. That would help them out. I don't know if they got the money for him, but they got Sinclair, they can afford him. But all honesty, he's probably going to go to AEW. If he goes to New Japan, that'd be cool, I guess. I personally don't watch a lot of New Japan, but if he does, that'd be awesome. Whatever he does, he's definitely the most talented out of this group. Obviously, he's had a fantastic career. No matter what, this isn't going to hurt him. I'm sure he has plenty of money. I'm sure he's been paid quite nicely by the WWE over the years, and I'm sure he's going to make plenty of money after this. And no matter what he does, because he has that it factor. The only thing that's hurting this guy right here is his durability. And that's just my opinion. Okay. So that's pretty much it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this little lengthy video. I wanted to get a lot of my opinions out there, but in the end, if I had to sum it all up, it would just be, this happens every year. WWE does need to get rid of all these people. Not saying they need to get rid of all these people. They have all of these people. They have over hundred people on the roster. They need to cut people that they're not using. And guess what? They did that. I think this is something that they should have done a while back on some of these guys. Bo Dallas. Sorry, man. I'm just saying, out. So while yes, it can be frustrating if Samoa Joe was your favorite, or like me, Mickie James, like I said, was my favorite of all time. I know Mickie James wasn't being used. I know when she was there, it just really, she was kind of a sidekick, and I don't expect Mickie James going to have this long career after this, as far as, in the ring wrestling. Sure, she can still go. We've seen it, but for some of these people, if not all, it's just time to go. In my opinion, I really am not arguing any of these people that they should not have been let go. But I will say Samoa Joe was the one that surprised me the most, as far as I did see him with a commentator. I'm not saying that he should have stayed, as a in the ring wrestler and been, world champion. I'm not saying that. I honestly am not saying that. I believe I wanted to see him at the commentator's desk, maybe excel some more there, because I think he has the skills for that. He's very early on, but I could see some good stuff out of Samoa Joe. And with some of these people, this is a long video. I'm wrapping this up for real, but I'm just going to close with this statement. At least some of these people got that last WrestleMania payday. For example, Billy Kay got thrown into a match, the Tag Team Turmoil, and Samoa Joe was on commentary. They couldn't put everybody on because the Battle Royal did make the WrestleMania this year. But, hate WWE, whatever you want to do, love WWE, that's fine. But just know these guys and girls are all going through a really tough time right now. At least feel a little sympathy for them. But let's not go too crazy on hating WWE for pulling out a move that was a good business decision, because WWE is the #1 wrestling company in the business because they are good at business. That's a thing. And whether you hate the business or not, as far as WWE, it is a fucking bit. I made it all the way to the end without saying a cuss word. I'm mad. But whether or not you'd hate it or love it, they are a business, and you got to make business decisions no matter how hard they are. I'm out of here. I'm Jake, aka Bomber. If you like the video, like it. If you dislike it, dislike it. But come back for more. Hit subscribe. I'll ask you to do that, because I'm going to be hitting up with plenty more opinions, and I want to know what you guys think. Who are you most mad at? Tell me down below. Who do you think WWE should have kept on that roster? And don't just say, oh, should have kept Samoa Joe, should have been world champion. Tell me, give me details. Don't just say that. It's a blanket statement, okay? I gave reasons why I don't think that he really should be WWE champion. I want to hear why you said he should, besides, oh, he's Samoa Joe. All right, so that's it. I'm ending the video. I'm clicking the button.